You can complain about the cold or you can change the weather. So, if y'all didn't know, on Facebook, if you didn't know, on YouTube, I've been on TikTok exposing the fake beef. It's not a real beef. And while I do videos, when I'm talking, when I'm online, I always say I need to teach a class for women on how to rebuttal, on how to respond, because I see the same things. I see a pattern. And it leads to y'all losing debates the same way. But then y'all still consistently want to get in them. But then y'all say stuff like men don't argue with women. But then y'all seek the conversation from the opposite sex with these points. So I decided to help. It's not no talk about y'all and you know, it's to help. It's to help you win. If you're going to keep having these arguments, I'm going to let y'all in on a little on a little secret. From a different perspective than y'all say it. I don't think a lot of men are that smart when it comes to dealing with y'all. But y'all make it easy by making these simple mistakes that we're going to correct in this rebuttal class and response class. So if y'all going to keep these arguments up with men, I'm going to help y'all win. This is the blue pill version of me. This is as blue pill version of me as you're going to get it. I'm helping you. And it's the funny thing about that. It's funny that I say that because it's a special guest on the first video, which is me. And in the comments, it's one comment. I just seen it today because I don't pay attention to the comments on TikTok. I've been a little bit more active recently. I've been in the comments like the last few days, but I just don't pay attention to people because they don't let me respond. That's the main thing why I don't do it. So once they start flagging all of my comments for bullying and harassment, then it's like, okay, I don't even want to see them because I know when I see somebody say something stupid, I'm going to respond. And then so it became my habit to just not even look. But today I looked in the comment section, and on this particular video, this woman had the nerve, the unmitigated gall to tell the teacher of the rebuttal class. She tells me, "We can hear your disdain. First of all, y'all are losing these arguments." Like, it is disdain. It's disdain for the fact y'all are losing. And I want to help you win. And you're going to win. You're going to win. After this class, y'all are going to win. So, and there's key points to get through. So, point 1 has already been done. So I'm just going to play the video.
Even though it's people on both ends, and moderators who wouldn't want it to happen, this fake beef between men and women online can turn to a healthy discussion. There's a few steps that need to be taken, and one of them is this class. Now, y'all really will be the most educated group after this class. So, and the reason why I'm using this point first is because how the internet is set up, you'll have a lot of practice with it. So this particular video here, and this is not a lecture of women. It's a response and rebuttal class. It's not nothing personal about y'all. It's literally I'm generalizing because I see a pattern. So
Like I
this
said,
video here is a video about accountability, okay? Not this video, but the video that you see the comments for. It's like, women have to take accountability and you'll win a prize. And then, okay, so the comment section, it's a lot of different women saying, what about men? What about men? What about men? Now, here's why I'm bringing this up in response class. Ladies, you don't even have to take accountability. I'm not telling you to right now. I don't care right now. This is response class, rebuttal class. It's not
right,
accountability class. It's a reference. So listen, you don't even have to take accountability, but you have to understand that the literal worst response you can give is, well, what about men? Because that's
see now the key to rebuttaling is understanding what's been said to you. For you to rebuttal, you got to know what's been said to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know what's been said to you for you to respond to it.
blame shifting and accountability shifting. So you can talk about accountability and men accountability, but you can't use it as a response to someone saying you are not being accountable, because that's not being accountable. Do y'all get where I'm trying
Right,
to come from? So you can lie or live whatever you feel is the truth and say women are accountable. We such and such and such and such and such. But don't be like, well, the men did it, because you're backing yourself into a, well, you're not being accountable. See, like this girl right here, the first comment, I'm not going to respond to her because of the second comment. I said, it's funny that y'all are mentioning men instead of just taking accountability. You didn't even have to say nothing. Like I said before, you don't have to take the accountability. I said that here, but you actually don't have to. But as long as you don't shift it, you didn't have to do nothing. So when you're in the accountability conversation, you have to know how to navigate it. You can't talk about the opposite sex unless that's your conversation point. You can't respond talking about the opposite sex. It's impossible. You're being unaccountable. That goes for men too, but we're in your class. But this class for you, so what you need to understand is when you're doing that, like, so now, like I said, you can bring it up. So now when you bring it up and someone is talking about women, see, I'm trying to help y'all win arguments. Y'all, you have to understand that a lot of y'all be losing these arguments. You
right,
think you be having good comebacks, but you really don't, being dead serious. And if you admit that and realize that, you'll change. And this can become healthy discussions. Or if you don't even want it to be a healthy discussion, you can start winning the arguments.
right.
So,
Because some people don't care if it's a healthy discussion or not. But my thing is that those people be losing arguments. But after this class, you'll win. Opening up the playbook for y'all. If y'all, man, start tight.
so now when you bring up the accountability of men and men come in like, well, women ain't account, you can tell them what I'm saying right now. Like, no, you're blame shifting. So you got to say it first. If you don't say it first, you can't start talking about the other gender. That's impossible. That's a bad response. And y'all know, as women, y'all know y'all favorite thing to do is what about men? But I'm
Which
telling
we will
you,
get to.
when the conversation is accountability, that is the wrong response to give. That makes sense to y'all? This is just class number one. We got a few different steps to take to get y'all where y'all need to be, but this is number one.
It's six bullet points in this class. And this is step one. I already did this a long time ago. So I just had to play the video.
And I used it kind
And like I said, and I'm really see y'all got the right teacher because this is just homework. Like I gave y'all the perfect work, the accountability, because people always talk about it. So you got the perfect argument to use the strategy with accountability. Like I gave you the perfect one. It's
accountability
perfect.
because everybody says that word. And like I said, you'll get a lot of practice with this one.
Right. Like I just said on here.
So don't respond with the opposite sex when accountability is the conversation. Don't do it. It's a bad response.
Right.
Even though,
So that's step one. Accountability. Now, point number 2. This is not Kevin Samuels. What you need to understand about this, though, is that it affects the way you listen, and it affects the things that you'll say. And the thing about the need to be right is people who have to be right don't know when to not argue. And then, see, this is how you avoid having a bad response at all. This step right here will help you avoid having a bad response at all. Like, no matter what, because you're not gonna have one. Because you don't have to argue this point. It's this ties into all of the last points, but it's important because it's a reason why it connects all of them, because it will keep you out of the situation. Okay, so you don't have to argue with a person, even if you want to say it's because they're stupid and you don't argue with a dummy. Whatever method it takes you to understand, you don't have to argue every single thing. You don't just have to be right, especially when, okay, listen, because people who need to be right will enter into an argument wrong. If that makes any sense, man, listen, you will try to make a point that isn't there because you feel you want to be right about it. And that just sticks you in the middle of the wrong. You get an F in the class. So this may be y'all's most important step in response class, because this is where you don't need my help at this point. This is when you waxing on and waxing off by yourself because you're avoiding the confrontation itself. So it's a reason why this is a staple in the male internet vocabulary now. It's because it fuels a lot of y'all's wrongness. I'm trying to help you. So I noticed this a lot. This is a pattern with women. And I'm going to explain to y'all perfectly why it's the wrong thing to do. I'll give you a personal example. Oh yeah. I'll give you a personal example. So this is what y'all do. I'm gonna give y'all a general example of this, and then I'm gonna give you a personal one. When someone is making a point or saying something about anything, whatever the topic may be, it could be anything. You like to come back with, well, I'm not like that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm such and such and such and such. But the conversation is be general. So I'm gonna give you an example. I was on a panel on a show, Dr. Real TV, and I was on with someone, and we were talking about Dwayne Wade's child. And I was saying it's a lot of parents who don't agree with that because we're parents. And her response in defense of that statement was, I'm a parent too, and I'm a damn good one. Now check this out. Right then, when I said this, it's parents that's against Zaya Wade, is all of that. That means I spoke for every single solitary person on planet Earth who has a problem with that subject. I spoke for everybody. I spoke for billions of people at one time. She spoke for herself. And y'all love to do that in the middle of arguments. And it pins you into a corner, which this is what y'all have to understand, which we'll get to in the next bullet point as well. Pinning yourself into a corner with your responses. So this is what y'all like to do. This is like the woman staple. Like, y'all love this one right here. So, but you got to understand, when you're doing that, you are limiting the conversation to you. Like, imagine you, I just told a woman, like, yo, imagine you representing the entire culture of women. Like, just imagine that. Like, just think about that for 1 minute. Like you represent it all. Like, you are the representative. Like, chill out. So this is something that y'all can work on. And it goes to show, because y'all want and y'all talk about men being leaders, but you never know the ways that it comes out. And it be conversations like that, like when I get to speak for billions of people, that's leadership. But then I'm a parent, I'm is like single, you claiming zero dependence. So with these, so like I said, and y'all, if you're a woman, you listen to this, and men know, if you're a man, you know you do this. You know you do this. Y'all do this all the time. Y'all love to do this. If it don't apply to you, if it doesn't apply to you, you hate it. I should add, you know what? Let me go back. You know what? We'll just put it right here. So I was on a Ray made a post earlier, and the lady was talking about protection, right? And she was saying, it's like you being with your children and you telling them where to go and what to do, and if they don't listen to you, they won't, you know what I'm saying? It could be dangerous for them not to listen to you. And a couple people in the comments were saying, I don't like her analogy. I'm not no kid. Listen to me. And I want to explain this very clearly to y'all so you get it, and it's like real simple. And I've said this before, but we're in class now. So the reason why women, and she was smart to do this. I've done it. I do it. Other people do it. Some people do it in other ways, like Mr. Let Go just like generally compares women to children. But this is what y'all got to understand. From a leadership perspective, that's an example that women can understand because they lead their children. So in most cases, you're not leading no man unless you are you're a manager at work. That's the thing. But in your home and in your situation like that, you not leading no men, but you are leading your kids. So when you hear that, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. Instead of saying you ain't no kid, you gotta you have to listen to understand instead of just saying something back. Like, that's literally the perfect analogy for a single person to understand leadership. Like a single mom to understand leadership. Like, how could we not use your kids as an example? That don't make no sense. You don't understand leadership through your kids? Somebody can't make an example of leadership through your kids, and you can't pick up on that? That's wild. But it's a mental block of somebody just shutting off. They're just on purpose, just shutting down just because. It's a selfish response. And it was unnecessary to where she really made a good example as a woman. You act like she was trying to call women. She wasn't trying to demean women. She was trying to talk about male leadership. And women who ain't being led by men tried to talk about them not being kids. It's like, yo, did you hear what she just said? So, the next point. And there's another thing y'all like to do. And we got to explain why it doesn't work and why you shouldn't do it. And if you don't understand this here, I'll give you an example. Let's say the conversation is, Roe versus Wade or pro-life, pro-choice. What about when she's raped? What about if it's an SA situation? Now, you have pinned yourself to the 0.1% of the situations. You feel what I'm saying? And I like to do this. I seen a video with a lady, she was talking about protection with her husband. Oh, if she gets caught out and someone's with her kids, like, yo, they just wished all type of bad on her just because she said, yo, get a husband to protect you. Now they had to create a scenario where some mass situation happened to her and her kids. Just to prove a point. And then and I responded, like, somebody said that in the comment section, and I was like, yo, imagine all that not happening and you made it up. Like, yo, that's crazy. And really, people don't even think about stuff like that. Like, they really just wish bad on that lady kids just because they didn't like her point or didn't understand her point. Because there was a lot of people in the comment section saying, I agree. But the people who were disagreeing were taking it to the extreme, to where something has to happen to her now, which is crazy. And like I said, here's why it's here, because you're pinning yourself down in the argument. Because now, if you respond with that, okay, you got that part. But now you're leaving the person you're arguing with wiggle room to 99% of the argument. So now his examples are going to have a wide range of variety. Yours was pinned down to the extreme. And before you work your way back, you're going to be losing the argument. So don't do this. Resist your female woman nature urge to do this. Please. It's not going to work. It's going to make you lose the argument. Okay? Every time, too. You're not going to win the argument like this. It's part of the need to be right. But listen, it starts with the need to be right, but you're pitting yourself to being right about 1/10 of a point at the extreme level. Like, the world has to blow. Like, anything, obviously, is always could be an extreme made up scenario. It could always go to the extreme level of whatever we want it to be. But in a back and forth with a person, it's like, are you trying to reach a into this discussion, or are you just trying to argue? Once you start dipping into this bag, the conversation is reaching nowhere. It's going to end up nowhere when people start doing stuff like this. Now, here's what you have to understand about stats and data. People who argue stats and data are pinned down to their stats and data, and some of it be inaccurate. And a lot of times you don't have a response for the people who have a response to your data. See, because the people who argue data and stats use the same arguments over and over. It's like basketball. And like this, what y'all got to understand when y'all talking to men. They deal with stats and data all the time. Y'all might as well, it's a job or whatever the case, but in a different sense, in an argue sense. Men argue stats way more than y'all do. For fun, they do it. Y'all get frustrated in these conversations. Men argue stats and data for fun. So when you bring emotions and stats, you're playing the wrong game with a man. And a lot of people, see, this is what you got to understand about stats and data. Most people, and I said this before in the video, I said, most people don't fact check things they believe or things they want to be true. Like if it's something that you want to be right, if it fits your narrative, you're not going to fact check it. You go just call it true, say it's true, and let it be what that. You're not going to look it up. But the thing is, a lot of this stuff be wrong. Like even when I that video that I played, the lady got mad at me when I said y'all really will be the most educated. And this lady tells me we are the most educated. Well, you want some word salad since you're so smart? Because it's a difference between enrollment and education, and everybody knows that. But the thing is, you got people who now use their education for the worst. Like some people went to college and then like took African American studies and then are like just smart about why they hate somebody. And people misuse terms and misuse all type of stuff. And like these data conversations, a lot of the stuff be wrong. Like I don't know where this idea of women making more, y'all don't. Where do they make more than men at? Like where? And then see, here's the thing about it. Cause y'all, it's like, okay, so if y'all make more money than men, y'all need to stop talking to men and start talking to the other women of other races who swear up and down that it's a wage gap and a gender gap and a pay gap between the genders. So if you make more than men, you need to tell them how you overcame the wage gap. What y'all do that they never did because they make more than y'all by any statistic. If white, like, man, I don't even understand these stats. I don't even understand where people get up with this stuff. But anyways, this is not that. This is the class. But the point is, you can't just listen to people quote statistics to you because a lot of this stuff that people be saying is wrong if you fact check it. Like even some of the stuff that be right there in front of you be wrong if you fact check. It's not like they just quoting off stats. They'll like post a screenshot of the stat. But if you fact check what you just posted, it ain't really that. You know what I'm saying? And then so these type of arguments can trip people up because you think you right, and people who argue like this don't really be having nothing else once they quote off all their statistics. And heaven forbid your stats be wrong. Now, this is the last bullet point, and obviously everybody knows about it, but here's the thing about it when it comes to response class. You're limiting what you're saying and what you can say. We already know about men. If you're being listen. This is basically waving a white flag in an argument. And y'all don't even realize it. This is y'all's go-to, but you really are losing. It's like waving a white flag. It's like I don't have any other response other than to totally shift the blame back to you. It's a horrible response if you're trying to win the argument because you haven't responded to what he's saying. You're just saying, what about men? And in most cases, y'all don't even want to compare to men. That's why when y'all talk about men and what y'all want to be like men and all that stuff, y'all always take the worst stuff. Y'all don't want to be good men when y'all take men qualities. Y'all want to be the players. Y'all want to be the cheaters. Y'all want to be the liars. Y'all want to take all of that stuff about men. So anytime it's something bad, y'all say, well, men do it too. But listen, did you just respond to what was said about you? No. So you have to understand in these arguments, they're being tallied up what's being said. Like, so it might be a direct quote. Like, think about all of the thought process that may go into whatever he said. Like, y'all be this, y'all that, y'all da 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 da, y'all be such, y'all always boom boom, and y'all be don't, and y'all know y'all, and y'all be and boop 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 boop, and you come back with men do it too. You didn't think about nothing. He put all that thought into what everything, his whole rant, and you say men do it too. You're right, they do, but you just got attacked. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just got attacked. What you got to say about all that he just said about you? Hell yeah, men do it too. You're damn right they do. Respond to what he said. So, this class should help y'all. You have homework. You have, you know your faults. You know your mistakes. You know what not to do. You know how to avoid. I took y'all through how to avoid the confrontation at all. I took y'all through your selfish responses and how that pins you down in the argument, and how this pins you down in the argument even more. I took y'all through how people don't research their stats and how people only look up the stuff that they want to see. Like, do you understand that I could find anything? I could back up, I could substantiate any claim. Just about, not, you know what I'm saying? It's a rebuttal class for women. That's who y'all is. Them. The stats and data. It's not for y'all. This is a rebuttal class for women. But class is out. I already went through all the points. This is for homework's sake. This is understanding the confrontation at all. This is the things that pin you down in the arguments. And this is the clicheest response of all that really just is a losing response. And if they understand these things, it will help them win arguments against men. It will be a beast. Especially if you understand how important these are. This one and this one. And this one. These like the main three things that just was like you will lose an argument if you do like, and these are like y'all's go-tos. Y'all go to with the extremes. What about if what if they have throw a bomb into the building? Y'all go with the extremes and y'all go with the what about men? And they're bad news for you each time. You're pinned into a corner each time. So hopefully this helps the ladies. I really want them to be better. And like I said, the lady said, and it goes to show, and that's something you can't even help a person. We can hear your disdain. She's in class trying to tell me what she can hear instead of listening to what I said. She responded instead of understanding and soaking up all of the knowledge given to her about accountability. I know she left homework. She missed the homework lesson mad about the wrong thing. For real. And you have the nerve to disrespect the teacher to sit back and help you. Because I could just sit back and let y'all keep saying all this stuff y'all say. I could have did that. But I decided to help. And that's the thanks I get. But like I said, though, and I keep telling people this, it's becoming one of my favorite slogans. Sometimes the worst thing you can be is right. She told me she can hear the disdain. The disdain. That's exactly what it is. I'm tired of seeing y'all lose arguments. I'm not even tired of seeing the arguments. I don't even, because listen, everybody's the same that searches the internet. Sometimes when you see certain posts, you like, let me see the comments. So I have to see I want to see the comments. I want the arguments. But y'all also need to win. Y'all stick to the same stuff. I should have put the I'm adding a banner. Oh no. Y'all almost got out of it. 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 Hold on. What I'm gonna name it? How are we gonna name this one? We'll name it um oh, we'll just name it what it is. We'll just call it what it is. Y'all almost got out of it. Now, for some reason, anytime a man, I don't know what the disconnect is, but y'all do know that you can be a man and be doing something that a person don't like. Like, just because I don't like you, don't mean you not a man. That's not how being a man works. Okay, it's not based off how I feel about you. Now, it's things you can do to get to get your manhood taken away, and we don't have to go through the list. Everybody knows, but it's not the stuff that y'all be talking about. So for some reason, this is y'all's other go-to response in conversation, arguments, debates with men. But here's the thing, y'all have to stop this. Anything that a man, any type of preference, physical preference, men cannot have physical preferences. Why? Because of this. And y'all understand that this is another white flag. Everybody talk about red flags. These are white flags. You are losing the argument. I don't know why y'all think this is eating. You think you're eating with this one. You're not ever eating with this one. So for the love of everything you love, can y'all please stop responding with this? Stop responding with this. It's not the answer. I just did another video. They tried to block it because all my other videos got views and this one has 17 views. But Saucy Santana got on, I should download it and play it. Saucy Santana got on some type of dating show or something. And they put a girl out there and he like, yo, why are y'all bringing out girls? And she don't even got no BBL. She don't got no lashes or nothing. And straight dudes get called gay for saying the opposite. Like, yo, you don't need no BBL. You could go natural hair. You don't need all them lashes. Oh, you must not like women. But the gay dude said the opposite. For him, you gotta be all done up and made up a different certain way because he don't really like women. So he wants you to be some type of other version of an actual woman. But men who like women, yo, you can be natural. You can be out the shower. You can be no makeup. You can be no lashes. You can be no nails done. You can be in a bonnet. Don't care for dudes that like women. But a dude that don't like women saying all the shit he was saying. And he got pushed back for saying that, but men get pushed back for saying the opposite of that. So at what point are y'all gonna stop just throwing this out there? I've already done multiple videos. I've already addressed this multiple ways. I've talked to the LGBT about it, why they don't care about it. They don't care. We know they don't care. So at this point, it has to come up in the rebuttal class. Now I'm telling y'all it in rebuttal class. I'm telling y'all it's a bad response. You're pinning yourself to losing. Once again, it's the same concept. Now I just have the words to fill in. You know what I'm saying? When we was up here, I just gave an example. I was like, y'all be this and y'all be that and this, that, and the third. And y'all say, what about men? Now I can give you the words. With this one, I can fill in the words. Because it's anything a man says physically about a woman. Anything. 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 If you have any type of physical preference, you must like men. You gotta like men. Oh, I just seen Austin Hollerman. He had a little video. He was talking about how black women don't like him. There was in the comments talking about how him and his boy look zesty. Anybody with any type of gripe, zest. I gotta stop it. It just has to stop. It's like, especially when it's like, come on now, like, imagine just waking up every day and doing the same thing. Like, y'all just wake up and say the same stuff to different people. Every day you tell 15 guys on the internet they must like men. Come on now. This has to stop. So, this has been the class. I hope it helps somebody. I hope y'all listen to it. I hope y'all soak up the game and be better debaters. Because men deal with this stuff all the time. And quite frankly, we're done. We're done with it. But it's entertaining. It's entertaining. We can see it all coming. We see it all coming. We know you do this. Well, people might not pay attention to this one as much. This one, though, men know this one like the back of their hand. Definitely they know these two. Like, this is like nothing. Like, these three, this is y'all's go-to. Like, this is all y'all do. Real talk. This is it. And this one too. That's it. That's y'all playbook. So if you understand your playbook and understand how faulty it is, like I just broke down your whole playbook. Like, imagine these being the only 4 things y'all say to men and them really being garbage. How I'm all broke them down. Like, y'all have to stop these things. They don't win arguments. None of them win arguments. They're all white flags. Like, you're waving a white flag each time. Well, I can't say it. Like, this is a good one for you. You know what I'm saying? But generally, whatever the topic may be, the statistics, let's go to stats and data. The stats and data may be against you. Like, I seen, it was Verb. Verb made a post. Verb just be talking about it. Verb made a post. He said, when you're 35 and up, ain't nobody checking for you. Or your time is running. He said something like that. And I ain't even saying I agree with him, but I'm just saying, this lady was like, I'm 35, married after 35 to prove you wrong or something like that. Now, okay. So that means everybody gonna get married at the right, because you did it, right? So you are the stats, right? You know what I'm saying? You the stats. So when we look up the stats of people that's a certain age get married, it should be positive because you got married at 35, right? And like I said, I ain't agreeing with Verb. I'm just using an example. And because that was the actual thing that happened. She said that. So be better, do better, respond better, and you'll win. You will win if you understand your playbook and you understand this one and how it will counteract you actually being like, having to be right will stop you from actually being right, because you will go to lengths to prove a point that you don't have. Like, you will have to, sometimes when you have to be right, you go too far. You listen, sometimes when you have to be right, you will go to lengths you didn't have to go to prove a point that's not there. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, imagine, like, it's like walking somewhere because you thought something was somewhere. Like, yo, like, it's over there. And then you get there and it's like, oh no, maybe I left it a little further. Oh no, maybe a little further. So it's like, when you have to reach for something, you have to keep trying to attain it, but it's not even there. And sometimes that's being right. And you got all the practice in the world with the accountability conversation. You can use, anytime the conversation comes up, you just use some tips. So, and it'll be a part 2 to these on, because this was basically just helping y'all understand y'all's thoughts. You know what I mean? The next one will be more about how to 100% correct them. You know, you got to get understanding first, though. With all you're getting, get understanding. So, like and subscribe. Hit the YouTube. Hit the Cash App. Hit the inbox.